All right, and we are live. Welcome to another episode of Kings of Influence, the pod stream where we talk about social media ethics, and really anything else we want to talk about.
Yep.
I'm Ray William Johnson.
My name is Epic Lloyd, and welcome to episode 2 of the pod stream. I still love this title. I still love this moniker of Podstream. I can't get over it. I feel like even though it's out there's probably a shitty company called Podstream.
Right.
I feel ownership.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
You're into it?
I do. I am into it. And I don't know why, but I am. Pod and stream. I still like the connection with the Dark Crystal. I'm a Podling fan.
Okay.
But that's what I have to say about that.
No, I'm into it. I'm into the Kings of Influence title just as a whole.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, some people think that we're the Kings of Influence, and I'm okay. I'll take it. Yeah. But the title is actually referencing the influential people that we talk about every week, whether they meant to be influential as they are or not. Sometimes you do something, it goes viral, and you're influential, and you had no idea.
Who was the king of the week? Maybe we should enter, maybe there should be a court jester of the week.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Well, maybe at the end we can vote on who the king was.
Voting.
And why. That's good. No, we can, at the end, we can say, was it this person, or this person? Who was the king of
influence?
Who was the king of influence?
Oh,
that's good.
I love it.
That's
you
good.
guys, see? We're doing it right here live. We're malleable. Our kneecaps are forming in front of your very ears.
Exactly. All right, so let's get started. I want to play a little. Did you have anything Did you do anything fun this week?
What happened this week? This has been an interesting week for me. I work from home, so if I don't have my whole day planned, sometimes I feel super lazy. I'm like one of those people who I'm sort of a self-starter, but I'm not as much as my wife. So if my wife works more than me in any given week, which is in every given week, I'm like, fuck, I got to get my shit together. So I did have a little bit of get my shit together this week, but I did go to a family dinner, which felt old-fashioned, so old-fashioned that I almost wanted to say grace before we ate. I'm not even religious at all. It just felt like one of those situations where it's like all close friends. It was like a new baby we just met. Like we're kicking it with wine. My man cooked. And I was like, we should fucking say something. We didn't. So we'll probably burn in hell for that. But
so you fell right into that.
I felt right
into those
it,
old.
man.
Was that an old habit from your family? They used to say grace. Okay.
We are not religious. I'm not Christian. I'm not Jewish. I'm not anything like that. But there's something. It's almost like a toast. You know what I mean? Like I kind of like the idea of being like just taking a second to like recognize it's kind of cool. We all get to sit down and eat together.
A toast to the Lord.
No, not to the Lord. More to the. It's almost more like thank you for this sheep we are about to eat. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
Like more like a Native American might do when they kill the buffalo. So
do you
that
think?
was fun. And then we got super drunk.
There, of course.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do you think like rappers and their families? Do you think they do you think they say grace in the same way that they like give shout outs at award shows and stuff? Yo, first of all, let me get a shout out to my boy Jesus, because he and I are tight. And second, right. I want to thank God for little Pookie and for Moo Moo.
Right. And for the sheep that we have here on the table. Yo, I think definitely they do. Maybe not. Who knows?
Right. The other cool thing would be is if they said grace the way you would normally say it, but they rhymed it.
They rap grace?
Yeah, they rap grace.
Like, thank you very much, cow on my plate, gonna say this grace to seal my fate. Oh no, I gotta get this spork. Maybe we should just use a fork. Stuff
right.
like that.
And a cousin's at the end of the table. He's like the hype man. He's like, yeah,
hey,
Christ.
I was talking to my buddy the other day, and we were talking about how funny would it be if you had a D-hype man? Like, everybody get ready to bring it down a level.
Everybody chill the hell out.
Right. What's up, y'all? On the count of 3, everybody say, shh. The D-hype man in the house.
Yes. Okay, let's play a game really quick.
All right.
Let's play a game really quick. My favorite game to play. It's a new game. We'll probably play it. It's 2018, so I feel like everyone plays this game every week, whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
I even made a really quick little title for it. It is Was That Racist?
Oh, boy.
This will be a fun one.
Here we go.
This will be a fun one, where we look at something that is considered racist, and we sort of get to decide, hey, is this really racist, or is this not, or whatever, and give our opinion on it.
two white guys are gonna let you know.
I mean, well, okay. Well, here. So this needs like a jingle. It needs to blink like that. I need to. Yeah.
It
I need
have
to.
something.
I need to work on that. Okay. So there was this substitute teacher in Ontario, Canada, and she takes a picture of one of the students. These students are young, got to be 6, 7 years old.
I hate this already.
Yeah. She takes a picture of one of the students, puts it on social media.
Ugh.
Next to a picture of a character from a movie, and she's comparing their hairstyle. Next to, have you ever seen "Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood"? Old Wayans brothers movie.
Yeah.
It's great.
Ago.
Yeah, Marlon Wayans. So, she's being investigated now because people were saying it's racist, and she's definitely making fun of the students. So let's look at the picture really quick. There it is. So that was on her Instagram stories. Okay. So obviously on the left you have Marlon Wayans, who was looking ridiculous as Loke Dog, as the character from Don't Be a Menace.
Okay.
On the right you have one of her students. Caption is, I'm reading for the people at home who can only hear it. Caption is, "Who rocked it better? Low, 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 low." Gah. So I'll say this first of all. This is really, it's shitty.
It's shitty.
It's shitty.
I don't know if it's racist. I think it's shitty.
Right.
Because that's a tough call.
Yeah, it is.
I think it affects me immediately because you shouldn't be posting a picture of a kid on social media without the kid's permission. Like, that sucks. And that immediately makes me not like this person.
Right.
I don't know if I could call that racist. I might be wrong, but my impression is it's not racist. It's just shitty.
Yeah.
It's just shitty.
No, I totally agree. That was kind of my thought too. Is like, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what substitute teacher land you live in where it's okay,
right,
even in your private like Instagram or Snapchat stories, to take pictures of children, especially extremely young children,
right,
and like ridicule them for their hairstyle, because well, I think we just said it. It's a shitty thing to do.
Yeah.
It's a shitty thing for adults to make fun of kids. And I know people do it all the time. Like, we've probably made jokes about kids. I definitely have. But you don't do it to a kid who like isn't doing anything other than like being a kid or going to school
and
or
even
whatever.
Worse, the kid. I mean, I don't know if this is real, but the kid looked like he's, or she, I can't tell, is turning away and doesn't want to have their picture taken. Maybe they aren't, but like that's what it looks like to me.
Right.
Like, that kid is like, "Don't take my photo." So that's kind of crappy. So this woman is being investigated now as for what?
Well, for breaking school conduct.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know what
100%.
exactly what the charges were, but obviously the school put out a statement. She's being investigated. They're dealing with it internally, like that kind of thing.
Yeah. It's not like this doesn't. It bugs me she took a picture of the kid but who know? I don't know the situation. Maybe she knows the kid. Like, my 4th grade teacher was this teacher named Miss Sidway, and this was a different time. But like, if you looked at the stuff that she did with us as kids now, like, we went on like little trips with her. Like, just like, she was just our friend, and she was cool as shit, and it was completely awesome. I lived in a town. I had 20 kids in my grade, tiny town, Epsom, New Hampshire, and like, she would come over and have dinner and stuff, and like, in today's society, I feel like that would be really a hot topic, and you would be very quickly like, "What the fuck is going on with this teacher and these kids?" But she was just a woman who loved kids and loved to take care of us. So who knows? Maybe that teacher was really close with the kid, and she loves that kid and just posted that picture, and it was a little bit over the line. But from an outside view, it just looks a little crappy.
But your star teacher, she wouldn't like make fun of you, would she?
No, and I don't think she's making fun of the kid, because she's saying that the caption is "Who rocked it better?" So like, who rocked the haircut better? Like, maybe it's cool. You know what I mean? I don't think that's necessarily making fun of the kid.
I don't know, man. That looks like, let's look at it again. That looks like, I mean, who rocked it better? Low, 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 low. That feels like she's clowning the kid to me. Maybe it's not even in a malicious way. Maybe,
right.
I don't know. You're right. Maybe we don't know the full context of it. But that could be said for any story we talk about. We just got to take it at face value.
Yeah.
Which is why I wanted to ask the question, is this racist? I don't think it's inherently racist. It could have been. It could also have been extremely racist. She could also be a total Klan member behind closed doors. What I'm saying is this picture and this story doesn't inherently scream racism to me.
No, not to me either.
Yeah, exactly. You know, when I was a kid, when I was a kid,
yeah,
we had, like, I never got spanked by a teacher, But I definitely went to a school where there were teachers who would take you out in the hall and paddle you. That was
Really?
still a thing.
So you were just well behaved?
Yeah,
or
I was a good kid.
fast?
I was I was a straight A student and all that shit.
Got it,
I was also
got it.
fast, but no. I was a really good kid, so I didn't get paddled. But there were some teachers who did,
Yeah.
who practiced that, and you would always pray every year that you didn't get that teacher,
Yeah.
because you didn't want to be the one that's. Also, the
got
ones
the
that
paddle.
spanked were known to be mean as well. They
Yeah.
weren't like the nice sweetheart teachers. They were
No,
ridiculous.
no.
I gotta say, man, I felt like some of those kids deserved it though.
I hear you, man. I feel like I feel like teachers hitting kids is I think too far for me. I'm in terms of parents, I got hit as a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes I fucking deserved it, man. I deserved to get my butt swatted, you know? A teacher doing it, I think because you're in a school situation in front of other children and there's like an embarrassment factor there, and I do think the studies show that it leads to definitely like sort of cascading negative behavior in the school place. I don't think I could get behind that too much, but I certainly had teachers who would hit us with like yardsticks and stuff. I remember like we would get our knuckles hit. Like I had I remember I was like turned around talking. She was a substitute and she was like an old lady. She was like a witch. Just whack hit my hands with the thing. I was like, whoa! But I didn't put my hand on that desk again.
That's even crazier that it was a
Yeah,
substitute. It
it
wasn't
was a
even a teacher
substitute.
that had a relationship with you. It was just
No.
one that came in for the day and made minimum wage and was
Yeah.
like, yeah, but I get to punch a few kids around.
One of those like balsa wood yardsticks. Remember those things?
yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Right.
Oh,
on
my
my
God.
hand.
Oh, my God. I did. So,
I do think though that if my parents found out, they would have fucking flipped. I don't know if I should be saying the F word that much, but like my parents would not have been cool with that. Like, you know what I mean? Like they would have flipped their lid over that.
So, listen to this. So in high school, or transitioning from middle school to high school, so depending on where you live, like that grade, I lived in another district for like a year, and in this is way more podunk. And in this district, they still practice. Now, remember, I was 14.
And this is Oklahoma, is that right?
This was another. This district was in Arkansas, right on the border,
Jeez,
technically.
it's such a different world.
Yeah. So anyway, I was like 14. This district still practiced corporal punishment, and me and my friends got in trouble for something really, I want to say minor, talking in class or whatever, and it was like 3 strikes and you're out kind of thing.
Right.
And so we had an option like take detention or take the SWATs, and I think the first time we all
Take the SWATs. Is that the T-shirt? Take the SWATs.
take the
bro.
SWATs, the SWAT team. So I think we all decided. I think the first time we decided that we were going to take detention, and then detention sucked. And the second time we got in trouble, we decided we were going to take the SWATs. Me and my 2 friends, because that's what you do. You group think when you're that age.
Oh, yeah.
And the fucking principal was the only one allowed to give them. So we got spanked by the principal, and he had a paddle.
Like
He
a
made us,
cricket
like-
stick or some shit like that.
Yeah. It was one of those, like a fraternity pledge paddle.
Damn.
And he made us like tuck our shirts in, like pull our pants up, tuck our shirts in, bend over the desk and shit. It was
How
crazy.
many times did you get hit? And did it hurt?
So we got, I think it was 2 SWATs, because they can't just sit there and beat you to death. They have to like,
Right.
there's all kinds of legal shit with it that's probably not legal now. Definitely not legal
Definitely
now.
not.
But then they had to like tell you beforehand, okay, you're getting this many SWATs, and this is what it's for. But you always had the option to take the detention. But the detention was for like
Right.
weeks or whatever. So it was
Wow,
always,
like
it-
10 weeks in the hole,
It was-
or
yeah.
you get like 2 SWATs on the hole.
Yeah. And then you didn't get to eat lunch with your friends and all that stuff. So anyway, we took the SWATs. I think we got 2 or 3. That was like the max. And
Wow.
and let me tell you, I was spanked with a paddle as a kid. I was, spanked with belts, all kinds of shit. And this hurt.
Yeah.
It legit hurt. And I was old enough, like I was 14. I was old enough where I was
14, so
like,
it's like 8th grade.
yes. No, it was 9th grade.
9th
was
grade,
ninth
you got
grade.
hit with a stick?
Yeah, I was a freshman.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah. Not a stick, a paddle, dude, and it hurt.
Like when you make, like, is there like a butt paddle factory somewhere? They're like, oh man, this paddle technique, we've swatted thousands of asses with this paddle, and our technique is proven to like, like, does he have to not hit as hard with that paddle because it was made specifically to do that, or was it a paddle for something else?
See,
Like, what else is it? Was it like an oar?
yeah,
from a
my
boat?
theory was it was an oar and he like shaved it off, but I don't really know.
He's like
'Cause-
down in his workbench. His wife's like, "What are you doing down there?"
Well,
He's like, "I'm just
and-
shaving the oar."
And this was before there wasn't Amazon or anything or online shopping back then, so I don't even know where do you go Because, when you're looking for something specific, you go into like 4 different stores and you're like, hey, do you have this thing?
Right.
Do you have this type of socket wrench or whatever? So that means this guy had to go into different stores and be like, I'm looking for an ass-whipping tool.
Excuse me, sir. Can I get some help real quick from you? Yeah, I'm looking for a paddle. I want to swat a high schooler's ass with it. No. I know what you're thinking. It's all legit. It's all legit. They still let us do it in our school.
Okay, so you're looking for a 2x1?
Yeah, a 2x1, maybe like a 2x2. We got a lot of different size kids in our school, so anything that's versatile.
Okay, now if your school runs a little smaller, you're going to want this 8 model.
Okay,
and if you got a bunch of fat kids in the school, you're going to go with the double 12 here.
Oh man, that's too big. I feel like I don't want the stick to speak louder than the SWAT. If you know what I'm saying.
Now I'm not trying to be a salesman here. But a lot of people are real happy with the double 12.
Oh man,
real happy, and a lot of other people real unhappy, if you know what I mean.
Hey, are we really making fun of kids getting hit in school?
Well, only because I got hit.
Yeah, right.
No, it was an insane. Anyway, it was an insane time, and I think we can move on, but I think we have decided that this picture is definitely not racist, at least not in our court. Although stupid.
I do like the term "not racist, just shitty."
Not racist, just shitty?
Yeah, not racist, just shitty.
You're not racist, you're just a dick.
Yeah.
Way to make this... Because kids are super impressionable. You going to make them feel bad about her Pippi Longstocking hair? Like, you're the teacher. You're the one that they're supposed to confide in. I know you're a sub. Yeah. And, like, what's the worst... I don't know how kids are these... What's the worst? They switch names during the roll call?
You mean like the worst thing that a substitute teacher could do?
No, sorry, the worst thing that a kid could do...
To a substitute?
To sync a sub, yeah.
Oh, my God. I was... awful.
Okay, go on.
We had a substitute teacher named Mr. Annis.
I beg your pardon?
A-N-U-S, Mr. Annis.
I like where this is headed.
I don't know what, like, when that guy, his family was coming over from whatever country they were, what's the Ellis Island in New York City?
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't just change that name right there. But, like, I think this was 5th grade, I knew he hated it being called Mr. Annis, and I just called him Mr. Anus over and over and over again. Until which point, I remember one time I showed up at school and he was the substitute, and I just raised my hand. I was like, man, can I just go to the principal's office now? Because I know by the end of the day, I'm going to go down there anyway. And I didn't, and then I inevitably just kept calling him Mr. Anus. And what a dick move for a kid to do. But come on, man.
Is Mr. Anus a nice guy?
I'm sure he was like fine. I don't think anybody's nice after they get called Mr. Asshole over and over.
Well, as I'm saying, you can't be named Anus and be an asshole. It's just too.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, you can't be named Richard and be an actual dick. Like, you got to be a nice guy. Every Richard I ever met, totally nice guy.
If you're out there, Mr. Anus, I apologize. I'm sorry I kept calling you the wrong name, but you know what? Hopefully, you've changed your name.
Okay, let's talk about Rudy Giuliani.
Rudy.
So yes, we had our first potential king of influence right there, the Canadian substitute teacher. Now we get to talk about we'll get to nominate someone else, but first let's talk about Rudy Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani, he's out there. He's on the president's legal team right now.
Yep.
He's out there basically trying to win over the jury, that is the American people, and convince them that the Mueller investigation is a total witch hunt and all that stuff.
Right.
And in doing so, he did an interview in Israel, and he started trashing Stormy Daniels. So I got a video of that. Stormy Daniels, obviously the porn star who the president allegedly had an affair with a decade ago.
Allegedly. And it was a very great affair. The most tremendous affair.
I didn't have sex with her, but if I did, it was the best sex of her life. Never has anyone ever had better sex than I allegedly had.
So great.
So good. Okay, here we go. Giuliani.
But I'm sorry, I don't respect a porn star the way I respect a career woman or a woman of substance or a woman who has
basically
great
saying he
respect
doesn't
for
respect
herself as a woman.
I know you can't hear it.
And as a person, and isn't going to sell her body for sexual exploitation. So, Stormy, you want to bring a case? Let me cross-examine you.
can you tell us, we've seen Melania here in Israel, and we were very impressed by her gracious manner and her, such elegant and really calmity. And can you tell her how does she feel these days with all these Stormy Daniel affairs going on in the background, and she's not stepping up to...
I can't speak for Melania.
But you're a personal friend.
I am, and I will... She believes in her husband. She knows it's untrue. I don't even think there's a slight suspicion that it's true when you, but when you look at Stormy Daniels. I know Donald Trump, and
let's respect her.
Look at his 3 wives, right? Beautiful women, classy women, women of great substance. Stormy Daniels.
Right. He's look. Despite how you feel about any politics stuff, he's being totally demeaning there, and probably intentionally. He's being a Mr. Annis right now.
He's a Mr.
He's a total Mr. Annis. So
yeah, dude, what a fucking prick.
No,
man.
so he's being a prick. That's only the first part of the story. Then we'll get into how it links to social media. But yeah, he's being an ass there. He's trying to make Stormy Daniels look bad. It's basically saying he doesn't respect porn stars.
Someone
and why would he be with her? Look at her. Look at Trump's 3 lives and look at her.
And they said the same thing during the election too, of
Trump,
really, that would be the one I chose.
Trump did. Yeah, he definitely did. But this whole thing about not respecting porn. First of all, before we get into the second part, that shit just sounds classist, and it bothers me because it's like, why are you better than? You're not better than this woman.
Yeah.
At all. You're different from her, you whatever, but you're not better because your choices led you this way and hers led her in this other way. In fact, he's a politician. Let me tell you something, difference between a porn star and a politician.
Yeah.
Here's what I like about a porn star.
Yeah.
Porn star is honest.
Yeah. They know what
Here's
to do.
who I am, here's who I'm fucking...
Plus, Rudy Giuliani's been married, 4 times?
Once to his cousin?
Yeah, told one of his wives that they were getting a divorce. Didn't tell her. Said it in a press conference, and didn't tell his wife until after the press conference. So this guy is preaching about integrity like that is so. It's just so. And then look at him. Look at him. He's like a fat, floppy. He looks like a parody of a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he looks like, and I don't. Again, political choices aside,
I'm going to be a dick to him and say he looks like a fat corpse.
Yeah,
somehow.
That makes me really angry. The fact that you would say this woman is lying. Come on, man. She's not lying. And honestly, if Donald Trump said, "Yeah, I had an affair with her, I paid her off, I needed to be quiet," I'd be like, "Good, man, fine, I get that, I don't care." That would win me. I get the American public as a large section of people. Probably that's not going to fly, but at least I don't expect, and this could be my jaded thought. I don't expect that people who make their main priority in life money and power. I don't expect them to have relationships that are the same as everybody else's. And I don't think any of the women in these situations think that either.
Right.
But they want to put forward this image that, we represent the American people, so we have this strong family and blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. You're fucking around. That's not what your thing is. That's fine, man. That is fine. Believe me, Melania, if she wants to get hers, she's going to get it. You know what I mean? She's going to be fine. So that is I just wish you would come out and say it. Just say it.
Well, the first thing the obvious part of this is why pay her $130,000 if you didn't sleep with her?
Yeah. And secondly, the only stupid thing she did is not ask for way
she
more.
Could have got
money
way more.
Than that.
She could have got way more.
That's $130,000. You can't even afford. That's you can't get an apartment in your hometown.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, she could have got millions.
She
should have got millions.
Yeah, especially now.
Maybe that's why she came out. Maybe that's why she was like, "What the fuck? He's the president. This is worth more than that."
Right. Yeah, which is funny because he could have put her down for being money grubbing or being an opportunist or making the best of a bad situation,
right.
But he really just put her down because of her profession. And the way she looks, get out of here, man.
Awful.
He's being a total scumbag about it, and I just
if you sell your body for money, you're classless. Fuck you.
Yeah,
bro.
I know. being he's being a dick. Okay, here we go. So here's the second part of that. Second part of that is Stormy Daniels' lawyer, Michael Avenatti. He puts out a tweet. I put it on the screen for you. So I'll go ahead and read it for you. I want to test Mr. Giuliani's claims of being adamantly against pornography and having to use
No
use for adult film stars. If anyone can provide me with any evidence of him voluntarily viewing pornography, I will protect you as a source and publish it. Let's prove his hypocrisy.
Yeah, that guy is the shit. What a boss-ass move, man.
That is, I mean, so this is how it connects to our social media topic of like, now we have politicians using social media to publicly gather dirt.
And that's not even a politician. Isn't this guy a lawyer, right?
No, but he's politically posturing for sure.
Right.
Like he's not making Giuliani look bad because he wants to win a case. He's making Giuliani look bad because he's trying to make a political point.
Like,
I think he's going to run for office at some point.
Just look at his browser history. That motherfucker doesn't know how to fucking do incognito mode. I bet you. Like that guy probably looks at some gnarly shit. You know what I mean? That guy's into like. I think that guy's probably like a casting couch type of a dude. You know what I mean?
What, Giuliani?
Yeah.
He's definitely like a cuck. Viewing cuck or whatever that cuckold or whatever that is.
For sure.
No, it's insane that we've come to this point in politics, which I feel like everyone says that every month. Like, I can't believe where we're at in politics.
Yeah.
But like, it is insane that now we have political figures or public figures who are politically posturing using social media to find dirt on one another, to leverage secrets. Now, on one hand, I do find it unethical to look for someone's porn history or their sexual history or anything like that and then use that to publicly shame them, right? Because you could make let's take like a married couple, just an average married couple.
Right.
You could take a snapshot, a metaphorical snapshot of one or two things that they've done in the bedroom and amplify that out to the public of them being just disgusting or them being perverted or them being whatever. But at the end of the day,
they're normal.
They're normal. They're normal or they're not normal, and that's fine.
And also, what is normal? You know what I mean? Like, I don't even think that exists. What normal is, because if everybody has 15%, if everybody has like one thing that they do that most people don't, if everybody has one thing, which I think they all do, everybody's got their one freak thing, then that throws off the whole average. Like, nobody's normal. And I think that's good. You know what I mean? And why would you want to be normal when it comes to sex? You know, why would you just want to be like, meh, I'm going to have cornflakes again?
Huh.
You know?
I don't know, but people are into what they're into, and I do find it ethically dissatisfying to want to publish that stuff and make people look bad. However, there is a part of me that is upset that Rudy Giuliani put down, like, women who are in porn or just women who are in certain industries or whatever, and that he made this sort of classist argument and put down their, oh, look at her, that's gross, and was just being a dick and essentially being misogynist. Like, I'm so upset at that part of me wants to see the theatrics of this coming out.
Don't throw stones in glass houses. You know what I mean? I think you're right. Like, I think if they just pull it out of nowhere, then really it's nobody's business. But if you're going to go around like preaching about how somebody's profession, whether it's sex worker or not, is like not worthy of this, that, the other thing, then you better be like squeaky clean. And I bet you he's not. I know he's not.
No.
He got divorced 4 times. I wish somebody would look it up and tell us. We'll find it out later.
What, that he got? I think he got divorced 3 times.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or three different wives or 3 or 4 different wives. You're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yes. Fuck this guy.
Yeah. What was that hashtag? Busta?
Basta. He hashtag. I think it means like enough. He hashtags that after every tweet.
Okay.
That he does, I guess, because I read a few more things by. I mean, he's really trying to dig dirt on Giuliani right now and really trying to embarrass him. I mean, we could play a fun game of what does Giuliani look at?
Yeah.
You know,
like what's his?
I mean, so my 2 thoughts is like incredible irony if in his search history is Stormy Daniels,
right? Of course.
Doing this act.
I mean, he has to have looked at it anyway.
Ivanka Trump nudes. That would also be a good one.
Or Donald Trump nudes.
Oh, my God. And let me remind you, and let me remind everyone, that Melania Trump was, I don't want to call it softcore porn, but like topless. She did topless stuff. She did, I think, Playboy.
I don't know if you consider that. Yeah, I mean, porn.
Even if it's not, there's
Right.
still a question of like, wait, she did this, it's fine. Stormy did this other thing, it's not fine. So like,
Yeah.
what is, you know?
The length of the hypocrisy is very long.
Yeah,
You know,
of course.
there's nothing much more to say about it. I guess other than like, I feel like this is the last generation of that shit. I feel like I really do. I feel like, you know, you and I are coming up in an age group where like we're starting to be like that middle class, and I just think that there are more people now who are like, just say it, you dick. You
Right.
had sex with a porn star. Everybody wants to have sex with a porn star, man. Like that's like who if you were a billionaire, of course you're gonna do that shit. Like everybody gets it. But don't treat me like I'm an idiot and try to lie about it.
Yeah.
That is so stupid. I felt the same way about the email shit. You know what I mean? On the other side, which was like, well, we didn't do this with the like. Yeah, you did. You did. Everybody knows why. Everybody gets it. Everybody understands that having all these emails on your server looks super bad, so you're trying to cover it. But don't treat me like an idiot and tell me like you didn't.
They didn't. Sorry, they didn't what?
They didn't like hide them or like delete them and all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
don't try to cover it up. It's just when you're just obviously,
Just when you're just
Caught.
bullshitting.
you know. That's what the same thing like when Clinton, like he didn't sleep with the girl and then he was like, yeah, I did. And then it was fine. Like people were just like, yeah, you're right. Fuck it. Ugh.
Yeah, no, he did get impeached, but he didn't get removed from office.
Did he get impeached or they went through the process? And I feel like it was a race to the finish.
Well, impeachment just means they took a vote. So there's
Oh.
a difference between being impeached and being removed. So impeachment means they just voted to have him out of office, and he didn't.
He just said
He
no.
won basically.
Oh, so
'Cause
he
you gotta-
beat-
'cause
he
you-
beat the impeachment.
Yeah, because you got to get a majority of the House to vote in favor of removing, and then you got to get 2/3 of the Senate to vote. And I think he won the Senate. My history might be off there. They didn't get 2/3 to vote against him.
I don't think they'll ever impeach another president again, because I don't think a president will ever admit to anything ever again. Like as much as people hated Nixon, like the fact that he stepped down was kind of classy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He like preserved the integrity of the office by stepping down. I don't think any president would do that now.
You don't think Trump's going to get impeached? You don't think he's going to get? They're
No.
going to take a vote? I think.
No.
I think they'll get to a point where they get to a vote.
They might get to
I
a
don't know
vote.
if they'll remove him from office.
I don't think they will.
I think it's
He's
we're,
making too many people money, man.
we're knocking on that door.
Yeah. We got political today.
I know, but it's
Because
fine.
we don't know anything about sports.
There it is. I think it's fine. I think as long as we are honest in our opinions and open to new ideas and stuff, I think it's fine for us to be political. I think.
Yeah. We'll find out.
Okay.
Delete.
So Avenatti is our second candidate for the King of Influence. So now
Second
we have
candidate.
Canadian substitute teacher and Michael Avenatti,
Okay.
Stormy Daniels' lawyer.
Got
So
it.
excuse me. So here we have our third candidate. We have Kelly Marie Tran. So this is the actress from your favorite movie, The Last Jedi.
Awful.
Okay, we can get into whether you like it or not.
Awful.
But so this is the actress from The Last Jedi. She deleted her social media. She left social media because she was apparently getting harassed by all kinds of people. Apparently racist things. Apparently sexist things. For months, and then she just decided to delete everything. And allegedly, the harassment, it hasn't been verified, but this is just her word or her rep's words. The harassment was based around the movie, the people not liking The Last Jedi,
Sure. Yeah.
not about anything else. So she just bounced, quit everything. Daisy Ridley did the same thing last year.
Which one's that?
She played Rey in Force Awakens
Oh.
for the same reason.
Well, here's the thing about it. I feel like once you get in a Star Wars movie, you don't need social media anymore.
Right,
You know what I
not
mean?
not for a while.
Yeah, I feel like you're fine. Like Anthony Hopkins don't need to be tweeting, even though I love that Michael Rappaport does Instagram as much as he does. Like I feel like a lot of people use social media, especially in the entertainment world, as a tool to get. It's like postcards, you know. It's like advertisements. Like they ask you at auditions now, "What's your social media following?" Because they want to know if we cast you in this show, are you going to be able to leverage that to make the show more, successful? But once you're in a Star Wars movie, deuces, you know what I mean? Like I think that I might do the same thing. You know what I mean? If I was getting cast in movies like that, I think that would be my main focus. I would be in acting class. I wouldn't be like tweeting on my phone and shit. So
Yeah, but would you delete your social media?
if I was getting hate all the time and it just made me feel shitty, I've had days when I'd wanted, like right now on my YouTube channel, most of the time when I upload, people unsubscribe because either they want the rap battles or they forgot that I'm around, and so it's like it's what's the word? It's
discouraging.
It's discouraging.
Yeah.
Like and then you're just watching numbers and you forget about the thing that you're actually doing, which is making a song or making a video that you love, that I love to do. So I've thought about it being like, fuck this. Or there's apps like third-party apps that you can look at that like won't let you see numbers at all. It's just like, here's the app, or here's YouTube, and there's no numbers on it. And I've thought about doing that as well because it sucks all the fun out of it when you're always like, when it's always the stock market.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like the digital stock market.
Right.
So I completely understand her doing that. If she's getting hate, and I mean, notwithstanding, I didn't like her in that movie.
I didn't either.
I have no idea who she is as a person, what else she's been in as an actor. I thought she wasn't a good fit for that role. I didn't think her performance was specifically that great, but I would never like I'm sure she's a great person, but like getting hate for that, for how you did in a movie?
Yeah. Well, here's my question. My question for her and for Daisy Ridley.
Well, especially from Star Wars nerds, first of all. Like, fuck Star Wars nerds. You know what I mean? Like, you guys can all go fucking find a dick and pull it.
You only say that because that is one demographic that you're 100% confident you can beat up.
Yeah, I will beat all you Jabba the Hutts.
At the same
I will
time.
beat all you Jabba the Hutts down.
So here's my question for Kelly Marie and for Daisy Ridley. So you're a guy online, I'm a guy online, where we do this thing all the time. Were they actually getting more hate than, say, you or I get? Were they getting a larger percentage? Because I get hate all the time, every day, from a certain percentage of people who see my stuff. I'm sure you do too. And I am just curious, is this an average amount, or was this an abnormal amount? And was it an average amount that just made them look at their social media and go, no, I can't do this? Because an average, like if my mom got the amount of hate I get, which is just an average amount, she would be like, I don't want to be on Facebook.
I don't need this at all,
Yeah,
man.
this is stupid.
I would venture to say that she probably got an over average amount of hate. I think that, like, obviously you and I have different fans, and during the height of the rap battles, our fans were actually really, really nice and really supportive. And anything I got in terms of hate was sometimes just like, where's the next video? Things like that. So, but when we put out a video that people didn't like, they definitely let us know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether or not what was going on. I feel like I hadn't seen her in any other movies up until that point. So I think it was, I'm sure she's been in tons of stuff, but definitely splashed the pot with that performance in terms of she's on the scene now.
Right.
So I think probably there was a concentrated level of backlash about that movie and that performance that would put it over the top and probably would surprise you, I would even think.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, so comment for comment, she definitely gets more hate than you and I.
Right.
I'm talking about percentages, just because Star Wars is bigger than, probably than both of us combined. Definitely than both of us combined.
Oh, way bigger. Way bigger.
Yeah. Star Wars is huge, so she's going to get all of those people.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
And people are so passionate about
Yes.
Star Wars.
Yes.
They feel like it's a part of their identity. So if something didn't come out the way they wanted it to, it's like that really affects their lives.
Well, no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird thing. But I will say this: I'm glad she quit.
Yeah.
Here's why: I would rather her see the hate and be like, I don't want to deal with this, and quit, than see the hate and be like, I don't want to deal with this, and then stay and just complain about it. Because look, the reality is, I don't create the reality. I just live in it.
Yeah.
The reality is, if you are in the public eye and you have social media, people are going to trash you. It happens. That's a thing. I don't know why, because human beings are shitty. I don't know, but it happens. So before you get into Star Wars, like if an actor came up to me and said, hey, man, I got a role in Star Wars, and I'm starting an Instagram account, I would be like, get ready for some garbage.
Here it goes. Here we go.
They'd be like, but I'm the nicest guy in the world, and I only post pictures of my puppies. You know what? You're going to get a lot of people who hate your puppies. Yeah. That's just the way the internet works.
And it's fleeting too. Like think about like LeBron James, right? Like LeBron James.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Like the amount of hate he's probably getting right now is massive. You know what I mean? And it goes up and down. But like, if he had won the championship, it would have been completely different. You know what I mean? Like, if it's people's just
Sorry, I don't listen to hip hop. I don't.
exactly.
No, I really don't know what. So what did he do recently that?
LeBron James, is like arguably the best NBA player of all time, if not second to Michael Jordan. Almost, there's no argument there.
Okay.
So he's been to the NBA Finals more than anybody else, almost in history, I think, and he just got swept. So the Cleveland Cavaliers just got swept 4-0 by the Golden State Warriors. So Steph Curry and that whole squad.
Okay.
And like LeBron James is the king of that team, and he's the force on that team, and they just got their asses whooped. So I'm sure that people are looking at him right now, and like his performance, especially if you're from Cleveland, is going to affect their lives. Like the economy of Cleveland revolves around one human being to a large amount. Like not a small amount does it revolve around Cleveland, like a big amount. And if they had won, that city would have had a lot more money. You know what I mean? Versus like Golden State, that's San Francisco. It's so much more diverse, so much bigger, more population. Like, so the amount of social media hate that LeBron James is probably taking right now, it got to be colossal. But I don't think he would ever delete his social media. And you also have to ask, how big was her social media? She's like, I'm deleting it. Later, 250 followers. You know what I mean? How many people did she have?
I mean, enough to piss her off.
Yeah.
Well, and then there's this whole thing of like maybe LeBron doesn't read the comment, because that's where you're fucked. It's really not social media, it's the replies.
Yeah, and he doesn't read. I mean, he's got millions and millions and millions and millions on everything. You know what I mean?
Of course.
He's the king.
You don't think he checks his phone during the game and shit?
Fuck no. No way, man. He's got like 9 people who do that.
Hey, LeBron, this guy just called you a queer.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Oh, delete that account.
Yeah, that's. I'm such a superior human being to anyone who said that. Like,
right.
Jesus. Yeah. So good for her, man. Good for her.
I agree.
It takes balls to do that.
I agree. Delete it. Like if you hate what you see on social media, delete it. It'll make your life so much better, and her life will be better.
Yeah.
Now, I would say, if an incoming entertainer asked me for advice and said, should I just stay away from social media, as a business decision, I'd be like, no. Embrace it, because that's really going to help you. After the Star Wars of it all is over, after the Rose character's killed off, let's hope the character is killed off, because she was the worst part of that movie, other than the weird space cow nipple things.
God, that whole movie, I couldn't stand it.
Anyway, after that's over, you're going to need something to leverage. You're going to need social media. You can't ride that thing forever. I mean, look, in a way, Mark Hamill kind of has, but there were years where he went underground. And he wasn't getting as much work because the Star Wars thing just wasn't paying off. It doesn't pan out forever. Now later he was able to come back to it, but had the franchise not been rebooted, I
think he did the whole Joker.
Yeah, I was gonna say he did the whole Joker thing, but there was still a period before that where he didn't.
Yeah, I guess it just matters what you want out of your life. You know what I mean? There's like you can make. I don't know how much you got paid for Star Wars, multiple millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Exactly.
Couple bucks.
If you wanted to, you can retire on that and never work another day in your life. You're not going to be driving a Ferrari, but like it just depends on what you want out of your life. I think people who do social media, you should like it. You know what I mean? You should naturally do it. It shouldn't feel like a chore. It should feel like you like reaching out. If that feels like a chore to you, if that feels like a bear, like a load, then fuck it.
Don't do it.
Yeah. Or just enjoy it. You know what I mean? Or just be a consumer of it. Like watch Kings of Influence every Wednesday at noon. You know what I mean? Like, then just, enjoy the videos, enjoy the content, but you don't have to necessarily interact, because you can easily do that.
Well, the interaction is where you get screwed.
Yeah.
That's where people come in and they call you all kinds of names and they pick apart the way you look and they try to put you down, and they really do try to discourage you. And there's the flip side of that too, where people are encouraging, but it's just not quite the same. Yeah. There is no like equivalent to a troll. Like what's the opposite of a troll? That's not a thing.
A billy goat gruff.
A what?
A billy goat gruff.
A goat.
A goat. The story of the 3 billy goat gruffs. There's a troll under a bridge, and there's 3 billy goats. There's the littlest brother, the middle brother, and the older brother. Have you not heard this story?
No.
It's like a Grimm's fairy tale.
No, I mean I've heard that, but I've never heard the comparison.
Oh no! I guess no. It was just the first thing I thought of. It's like the troll of the week and the goat.
It's the nicest troll ever.
That's what you're. Oh no, a goat is just like a troll stomper.
No.
So you're trying
I meant like someone who it's like a positive troll.
Oh, a sprite. I think we may have to label this. We may have to name.
I don't think it's a thing. I don't think anyone. Like comes to your page or whatever and is like, I'm gonna make this person feel amazing.
Right.
If it's the last of me.
Super fan. No.
Yeah.
That doesn't do it.
Yeah.
It's not good enough.
Yeah, so they're basically like inflating your ego and telling you that you're much better than you actually are, just because they want to get a reaction out of you.
Yeah,
because their life is incredible
or awful, and they're just positively trying to get it.
Well, the troll thing, it's like their life is awful, and so they want to make you feel as awful as they do.
Right.
They want you to hate yourself as much as they hate themselves. So you have to assume that the goat
is doing good.
Yeah, like their life is amazing, and they're like, I want everyone to feel this way. At least in my fantasy,
so
that's the way
everybody
it plays
be goats out there, man, and we don't mean the greatest of all time. Oh, maybe we do. The greatest of all time fan on a page.
The greatest of all time?
Yeah,
that's great. So okay, so now we have Kelly Marie Tran. We have Rose from Star Wars. We have Stormy Daniels' lawyer, and then we have the Canadian substitute, all vying for the spot of Kings of Influence. Now the question is, who is the King of Influence?
Who is it? Do you want my vote?
Yeah, why not?
I think Stormy Daniels' lawyer.
Yeah, Avenatti?
Avenatti. Just came off like a boss.
Because he was gangster?
Came off like a gangster, man. Just like unabashedly like putting it right back in your face because you can't answer that.
Right.
Like he's got no response for that. So he's my vote for King of Influence week 2. Rose from Star Wars, pretty solid move, Rose. But I think that because she's an entertainer and purely an entertainer, it holds a little less weight in terms of what it means about the actual influence of her decision. So
yeah. So I would say the Canadian substitute teacher is last on the list for me as a King of Influence because she's accidentally there. She's there because she screwed up, not because she was intentionally making a statement or trying to do something in that vein.
Yeah.
I would say that Rose is in second place because she was trying to make a statement, or maybe she wasn't, but she definitely made a statement of like, hey, I don't have to take this, goodbye. It was intentional. And Avenatti gets the king because what he is about to do is about to change, maybe not history, but I think it's going to change politics a little bit. This is like...
Yeah, you have to hold people accountable.
I mean, 5 years from now, politicians could be doing this to each other. Like, hey, anyone got dirt on this guy I'm running against, send it to me, and we'll publish it. Like, that could be a really big thing. I don't necessarily want to live in that world, but I think we might end up living in that world.
They already say everything's listening to us and watching us all the time. So, like, if you can tap into that, shit. Then if you're a guy who's like maybe you're an anonymous or whatever, that like dark web thing, you're like, yeah, I got the feed on Giuliani's laptop. Here you go. Look at this shit. That's terrifying.
Well, for him.
Yeah. But it's terrifying that like that could be anybody. You know what I mean? Like at any time, anybody. Like there, what's that? It's like okay Google. Like anytime you say okay Google and your phone is on, it's listening. That means it's always listening for that.
What? Wait, okay Google.
Okay Google, let's go to the store. Okay Google, give me directions. Or Siri or
okay, so okay Google's like a Siri thing?
Yeah.
I never heard of that.
Yeah. It's like their version of it or whatever. Or the other one, Alexa.
Oh yeah,
put
Alexa.
this on, put that on. It means it's listening all the time, man.
Right.
Like that's crazy. That means it's not listening when it's not reacting to you. It's just not reacting to you. Shit.
Well, remind me to delete my browser.
For real, though.
Not even my history, my entire browser.
Yeah, hashtag incognito mode, which who knows if that works.
Well, I just think that's going to get it's going to be an ugly world when politicians, and I know politicians get dirt on each other. They do opposition research. That's a thing. But that's different from using social media to call out to the public and just be like, anything you can get on this person. Because you're going to get people from all out of the, people are going to come out of the woodwork with stories, true and untrue.
And like you now have to, if you're a politician, you have to decide you want to be a politician from like the 3rd grade.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like people aren't going to be going through your grandma's like old pictures of you back in the day. But now anything you post on Facebook, you know what I mean? Like one picture with you and like a cigarette and a Budweiser, that's going to be all over CNN.
Right. Or just be a celebrity.
Yeah,
then
right.
then you can get away with a lot more.
Right.
It'll be
Lou Ferrigno for president.
Lou Ferrigno. I mean, 2020, it's going to be Oprah,
Yeah.
And then Trump and Kanye.
Oh boy.
It'd just be a bunch of celebrity. Wouldn't
Man,
that be?
I'm going to Canada.
Wouldn't that be insane?
Oprah?
So celebrities have this thing where they have like just this absurd power because they're celebrity. And that power is that people pay attention to them and they listen to them. So when Kanye says something, to the tune of like, slavery is all mental and it sounds like a choice if you still feel enslaved after slavery was ended and or whatever. I know I'm messing up his words, but he says that shit and people listen and then they debate over. He says it very vaguely and then people debate over what he meant and they project their own feelings onto it. No, he wasn't talking about actual slavery versus no. He's talking about actual slavery. All that shit.
Yeah.
People listen to him, and so it has consequences. I'm not saying that he needs to be more responsible. He's an artist; he can say what he wants. What I'm saying is, when you get into the political arena, these guys have a leg up. Trump already had a leg up when he ran for president. That's how he was able to run for. He ran for one office in his life, and this was it.
He won,
and
I think he'll win. I do think he'll win again.
People listen, people pay attention, and then they start to project their own bullshit onto it. Whereas a politician has to kind of build that up. So what I see in the future potentially is you do have a bunch of celebrities running because they've got people who listen to them and they've got the name recognition.
Yeah.
And who cares if they slept with a porn star 10 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people do, but also a lot of people don't.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different theories on what I definitely think you're right. I think you no longer can run for president without the notch has been raised.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think people will look boring in comparison at this time. Like you don't have I tend to vote Democrat most of the time. I'm very liberal, especially on social topics. But like right now, when you're thinking about the next election, you're like, who's the star? Who's your Obama?
Right.
Who's your is it this Kennedy kid coming up? Like he's too far away. Nobody knows about him. Is it Bernie? Is he too old? You know what I mean? Like who's your like charismatic person? And if you're not building that person already, you're maybe too late because you're up against this thing. You know what I mean? That this massive thing that not only is a star in that level, whether you like him or not as a star, but I think the most powerful thing that Donald Trump did was the way that he just didn't give a shit. Because that's why I wish he would just admit the Stormy Daniels stuff. Because that's what he did in the election. He was like, yeah, I said that stuff. Yeah, it was locker room talk.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, whatever.
He got me. He was sort of flippant about like you can't say that. I can. I shouldn't, but I did.
Right.
Sorry. And I don't agree with the things that he said, but I feel like that the way that he was able to do that is what emboldened so many people behind him. I think there's extreme fallout behind that in terms of like now all these people are emboldened to like go on that girl's Twitter and like call her racist names because of a Star Wars performance or like knock on your neighbor's door and like tell them like make some sort of slur. Like that sucks. But it's definitely changed politics. It's definitely changed the way that you're going to need to approach an election to try and win. So people like Oprah, I think is a terrible choice for president in terms of policy. I think she's a great leader. I think she's a genius. I think she's charismatic. I think she's powerful. But like a politician is a politician. There's a certain job. Like how do you handle X, Y, and Z? Are you gonna just figure that out on the fly?
So So backing up a little bit.
That was a long.
Well, no,
tirade.
but this caught my attention. So you're saying that the way Trump acts it rolls downhill. It has implications on the way other people have acted, and that it has maybe influenced people to go to Rose's Twitter and say racist things and all that because people feel like, that's just emboldened, right? That's just me speaking my mind. That's
Oh, yeah. They're like, I get to say this again. Like, make America great again in a lot of people's minds means make America white again. Like that's my main beef with Donald Trump is he's fucking racist, man. Like he wants it to be like 1950 again, where it's like, nah, this is our neighborhood and you guys can hang out over there, but we got most of the cool shit and then you can get what's left. Like that to me is what Make America Great Again feels like. Nah, I know I'm going to catch a whole bunch of shit, but whatever. That's what I feel, you know?
No, that's fine. As long if that's how you feel, that's fine. But isn't every political slogan kind of broad? Like that, like you can have anyone project anything onto.
But that one is so much more like what was the one before that?
Change. Obama's was change.
Hope too. Right?
And hope,
yeah.
right? Which are both broad. It's
Yeah.
one word. Change what? Change to who?
Right.
Change what?
Right. Yeah, but I do feel like this one has resonated way more. The whole hat and everything about it, I feel like it's just resonated way more. Like I couldn't tell you Bill Clinton's or even Hillary Clinton's or like maybe I'm with her.
Yeah, with Hillary's.
Like, yeah, I just that to me is what resonates about him above all policy and above all that. And also the problem with celebrities is like they're out of their league when it comes to politics. Like, why would you hire someone who's an electrician to fix your pool?
Right. Well, I can tell you this. I think the days of, as far as politicians go, the days of being a policy nerd and getting elected to higher office are pretty much over.
Yeah.
Like you can't have, like I'm trying to think of who a policy nerd was. Like a guy like Al Gore, zero charisma, but knew his policy left and right, was very, I don't want to say he's very left because no one in the United States is that left, but he was way ahead on things like climate change and that kind of stuff. But he was a nerd. Like he just had,
he was bland.
Yeah, he was very vanilla.
Yeah.
Like, the guy hadn't had sex with his wife in like 7 years.
Really?
No, I'm just guessing.
Like, how did they know that? The same thing with John Kerry. That was kind of the reason why he lost to George W. Bush. It was
zero
he was
charisma.
Just a little bland, and even like, Romney. Romney was sort of, he was a good person, but just kind of bland.
Right.
I mean, he was no Obama, but.
No. Obama was very charismatic.
Yeah,
he was very charismatic. George W. Bush had some. He had a likability factor, a really high likability factor that kind of played into that charisma kind of stuff. Giuliani has some charisma too, especially in his younger days.
Yeah.
But I just think that you're not going to vote in a policy nerd. Now you're going to want a star because you can't run a policy nerd against a star.
Yeah.
At all.
And stars
going to win.
They can do it now.
Yeah, of course. Ever since, not just Reagan, because Reagan was like an actor,
right.
And then he went into politics. But like he wasn't at the level of Trump. He wasn't at the level of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And Reagan was a politician he was the president of SAG, I believe.
Yeah.
And like he did all these, like he was into it. Like
no, he was way into it.
Yeah. So he was a star, I guess, but different.
He wasn't Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
He wasn't the way Schwarzenegger was, or even the way Donald Trump was. Donald Trump has been around. Both Schwarzenegger and Trump had 20-year careers in the spotlight before they decided to run for office. Maybe even more.
Right.
Maybe even 30. Maybe 30 years. Maybe 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and Oprah, how long's Oprah been around? Oprah's older than Jesus.
I mean, I think the thing that they do, like Oprah, like the things that she would have in her favor is like she obviously good at running business, obviously good at managing people, obviously a great leader, obviously very intelligent, very passionate and strong. And that speech she gave at I think it was the Oscars this year was like awesome. For me, I'm a pessimist sometimes in terms of like, what happens if the worst happens? If we like end up in a war or something like that, or something that's so you have no contact with, or like, obviously you got to be using your generals and using these people who are masters of this, but like there's a level of horribleness that you have to be ready for that I just don't think that you can be prepared for without having chosen to be prepared for it for a long period of time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
So that's why I think that any celebrity, not just Oprah, if freaking Bill Murray decided he wanted to be a president tomorrow, I would vote for him.
Right.
I would vote for him.
Go Bill.
Bill Murray, 2020.
Jesus. That's insane. And like, right, do they understand policy issues? Do they understand how trade works? International politics, which is incredibly complex.
Super complex.
Incredibly, it's because it's one of the few areas of politics that that it's the least personal, because if you have an agreement between two countries, the guy who's in office in both countries at the time is not going to be the guy who's in office in 5-10 years or whatever.
Right.
So you really have to have things nailed down.
And you might not even agree there, and also the cultural differences too.
Yeah. Cultural, language, transition.
Yeah, like how do you deal with a country that just like, no, women can't vote here, and like as an American who might need to do business with that country, you have no say over whether or not. I mean, the best thing you can do is just not do business with them, but like maybe you have to. You know what I mean? Like that stuff is like, I wouldn't want to have to deal with that shit. That would be awful.
Bombs.
Yeah.
That's how you deal with it.
Man.
Just bombs. It's such an American thing for me to say.
Yeah.
All right, man. I think I'm gonna call it. I think we have figured our Kings of Influence.
Yeah, we figured
King
it out
of
on the
Influence.
fly, guys. We figured this shit out on the fly. So, I think the Canadian substitute teacher gets the jester.
She gets the court jester.
She gets the court jester.
Okay, and then Rose is just Rose.
Rose is just Rose.
Okay,
Rose
that's
is
fair.
Rose.
Avenatti gets the king. Canadian sub gets the court jester, and we'll let Rose be Rose. She's been through enough.
Yeah.
All right, man. We're going to call it. Guys, stay on because we're going to talk to you in the chat afterwards.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this episode of Kings of Influence. I'm Ray William Johnson.
I'm Epic Lloyd. We'll be here every Wednesday at noon PST, Pacific time.
Pacific time, California time.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for watching the pod stream.